Uh, I cannot hear you. Are you able to hear me? Yeah. So, okay, let's do it this way. Right. So, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. I will guide you how you have to fix this issue. So that is the reason I'm sharing my screen. Go to the audio tab you see here at the top, right? Or probably you will not be able to see this icon, I think. So there is an audio tab just before the icon wherein you have the mic option. So just before that you have an audio tab, right? Once you click that, it will expand. It will get narrowed down. That is where you have to look for a computer audio and a phone call. So select your computer audio and do the check, right? Like you check if the sound is coming or not. Uh, Sorry. Right. So there you have a drop down of the different audio devices that is available on your system. Based on that, you can select the most optimum one, which is working fine for your system. Let me know when you're able to do that. In case you're not able to do it, you have a toll-free number where you can log in, and from there also you can try to listen to this discussion, but you can see whatever I'm trying to talk about in the screen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Perfect.
I actually connected the headset. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, may I know your good name?
Hi, this is Ismail.
Hey, hi, Ismail. So, my name is Anshul, right? And I'll be your Datastage trainer.
Okay.
Okay. So, let's go through the demo session wherein we will try to understand what are the different topics that we are going to cover in this class. Okay. So, we'll talk more about the steps. Let's first understand what are the different topics and what are the important topics and the breakdown of those objects. Let us understand that. Then we'll talk further. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll in the training in the data stage training we'll start with something called as data warehouse. And some people might have idea about data warehouse, like what is data warehouse and other stuff, because if people are from a different background, if people are from data warehousing background, they will know what is data warehouse. But I have seen that most of the time if people are coming for data stage training, they don't have idea about what is data stage, what is data warehouse, why we are trying to work on this and all that. They just know that okay, this is a tool wherein you have an opportunity wherein they can get a good career growth, and let's go and switch into this. Let's go and learn data stage. So based on my understanding of this information from the students, what I thought is okay, let me give them some idea about data warehouse. It may not be very detailed, but it will be some idea. It will give you some idea like how data warehouse started, where database and other objects came into picture, and where data stage comes into picture in building data warehouse and many other objects, right? So that is the main intention of having this small discussion on data warehouse, right? Thereafter we'll go
Yeah.
and start learning what are the different, so data stage is a component of information server suite. So information server suite is a bigger software. Data stage is a part of that information server suite. Right, there are many other softwares along with IIS, along with Datastage in ISO, namely Business Glossary, Metadata Workbench, Information Analyzer, Quality Stage, and so on and so on. So out of those 9 or 10, Datastage is one of the software, and this is most widely used software among those 9 or 10 because of its flexibility and usability and the performance guidance and everything. So I will also give you those ideas about what are the different
I'm
softwares and yeah.
sorry to interrupt you. I'm actually in Informatica. I was working in Informatica since a couple of years.
Okay.
I want to learn this tool as well because I see requirements here and there. So I just want to learn in data stage as
So
well. So I have the
yeah.
ETL
So
background.
if you don't mind, I mean, we'll talk about your requirements. I will definitely talk about your requirements. And thanks for informing that you are in Informatica. So probably data warehouse component is not at all required for you, right? you might be aware about all those information about data warehouse and all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's go through this component. You may not be aware about Datastage and the different components that is available in Datastage, right?
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not just going to talk about data warehouse any further now. Let's restrict my knowledge and restrict this demo session on Datastage. So we know that the information server suite is an object, is a software which has many softwares inside it. Few of them I have just cited the names like Business Philosophy, Metadata Workbench and all. Datastage is also one of the ETL tool which is highly in demand. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And we will, but the reason I am trying to put information server suite is we will try to, because we have to start from information server suite, we'll know okay about the different software, and then we'll try to understand what is the architecture of IaaS suite. We also call information server suite as IaaS suite because it is IBM WebSphere Information Server Suite. So that is the reason it's called as IaaS suite. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll try to understand the architecture. Now, the architecture of information server suite gives us a good idea about, and from there we'll get a complete idea about what is the architecture of Datastage. Because when I will be trying to explain you the architecture of information server suite, I will take examples from Datastage, which will make you easy to correlate and understand what is the architecture. And if you understand the architecture, that will help you understand what is happening in the background when you're trying to create a job and execute a job and stuff like that. Right?
Okay.
So thereafter, we'll go ahead and understand what is data stage and what are what are the different engine types that is available in data stage. What are the different administrator, designer, director, other stuff about data stage. So some idea will get information over here, and then we'll try to see how the installation of data stage happens. So what are the different methods of installing data stage on a server or on multiple servers? Okay,
Okay.
wherein we will try to see what is different, what is 2-tier, 3-tier cluster, and what is built topology. So we'll try to learn about all those informations, right? So you will, by this, you will be able to understand how the installation of data happens in different topologies. What are the necessary setups or what are the necessary objects that has to be taken care. Now we'll try to understand the parallel and server job. What is the difference between the parallel and server data jobs? Also the partitioning and pipelining concepts, which is the I think which is the one which is the key reason why data performance is huge. It's very good performance because of the partitioning and pipelining concept that it has, right? So we'll talk in detail about the about partitioning and pipelining with examples in our diagrams in Excel and all, so that I will clearly make the concept of partitioning and pipelining very clear to you. That's for sure. Thereafter we'll see what is datastage administrator, how to open datastage administrator, create a project, assign users to project, create a user, right? And in the meantime, before going to datastage administrator, right, we have to also think about that once the installation is done, there are some necessary steps that has to be taken care by an administrator before a project starts working in datastage. So what are those necessary steps? We'll talk about that. There is something called as datastage web console. Right. So we'll open web console and there you have to do some necessary mandatory steps which are mandatory. Without that, you will not. Nobody will be able to log into Datastage. Right. So we'll do the necessary setup. I will show you what are the necessary requirements and all, which has to be done so that the installation starts working. Right. Then we'll even talk about datastage administrator, designer, director, and administrator will give you all information what are environment variables, what are parameters, what are the different options available in administrator, what are runtime column propagation. Everything we'll talk about that in administrator, right? And by this time, what you might have seen is we are learning only about the architecture, administrator, installation in different topologies, and doing the necessary setup so that data set starts working. That's the main idea of it, right? And on top of this, understanding server parallel job and partitioning and pipelining concepts. Now you see these attributes, what you're trying to see, if you visualize it, these are something which is a role of a administrator, data set administrator, right? So
Mm-hmm.
So what we are focusing, I'm not saying that we will just be covering dataset administrator. I'm saying we are covering dataset administrator and we are giving you all those information. So that we are just opening a branch for you. When you're trying to go for an interview, if you see a role is coming for dataset administrator, you can surely say, okay, I know dataset administrator because I've learned all the components of it, what an admin does in my training. Right? Makes sense?
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Right? Then we'll look into datastage designer director because we already learned administrators. Admin activities are known to me now. Now I should be knowing what a datastage developer does because we need to know, we need to open both the branches. We need to be in a position to talk about when we go to a company for an interview that okay, if you hire me, I am the right person or go-to person for an admin activities and I am the go-to person to for an developer activities, right? So we'll learn about what is data sheet designer and director and how we have to design data sheet jobs, what are the different options, I mean what are the different stages available in data sheets that we have to use. So there are close to 30-40 stages. We will talk about pretty much all of them, especially all those which are important. I think maybe 5 to 7 or probably 10 stages will be there which you will not use in your daily life in a project because for my 9 years of career I did not use them. So I can assume that if I am not using them for 9 years, working on different projects, different companies, right, different verticals, different horizontals and all. If I do not use them, so probably then there is no chance, or very minimal chance that you will be using it in your company or in a company. So we'll talk about most of them, which is important, which I have used, and I know that probably you may end up using it when you're in a project, when you're in a company, when you're working in a project, right? So we'll learn about all those options and then we'll also learn about the find option that is there in Datastage. So Datastage has something called as find option which actually enhances, it's similar to Windows search option, right? So wherein you want to find a file that you have created in Windows, so you go ahead and find you try to put some star and the file name under the star, it tries to find. In the same way, Datastage also has a find option wherein if you don't remember the file name, you want to say, okay, I don't remember the file name, I remember some part of some fragment of the name. So you will just say star and the fragment that you remember in star, it will try to find the name for you. If you don't remember that too, so suppose I was designing a job, this is a fine Friday for me and I was designing a data stage job and I was supposed to go on a vacation, right, for a week. I'm just giving a scenario and then you are coming back after a week. Obviously within a week you will forget the name of the requirement and in a project if that task is allocated to you, probably you are the one who are supposed to complete it, so that kind of situation can come up. So then, and business is not forcing, that's not a key priority right now, so business is not forcing that to be completed by somebody else. So when you will come back, you have to start working on the same job again what you're working. So in that case you don't remember the name, how to
Right.
find, right? So there are multiple options wherein you can look by created date, modified date, and there are even more options like if you are using some of the stages and suppose you are using a database stage and there is a modification in the database table structure, right? Then how to find out which are the different stages or which are the different jobs precisely which is using the database, the table, because the structure of the table got changed. So now we have to go back and modify the job that we have designed. You cannot execute a query select star from table wherein your table column number of columns got changed, right? So
Right.
for all these options are there. I will show you how to find if such scenario happens, and the way we will start learning the designer part and designing the data set job is in such a way that you follow the same steps, same process in your project when you go and get onboarded in your project, right? So these are necessary steps. If you follow them, the project becomes very easy for you to design your job and it becomes very easy to maintain. So tomorrow if somebody else is maintaining your job, it becomes very easy. That is the reason I mean, based on my entire experience, I just concluded, okay, necessary steps that we should follow. If I am following those steps, I will definitely not even miss a single step which is required. I will design my job in the best and the easiest possible way, because at the end of the day we want to design in the easiest method, right? So that is how we will be, we are trying to incorporate that practice in the training itself, so that comes from the start, right? So I mean, in detail, I will explain you how and what are the necessary steps that you have to follow in the training. So in detail, I will explain you, right? Then there are something called as sequencer jobs. Sequencer jobs are jobs which control the way data stage job get executed. So if you have dependency between two data stage jobs, right, or maybe multiple data stage jobs, you want to create a dependency, you can use a sequencer job which will control their execution pattern. And this is important because yes, you can say that executing multiple jobs based on certain condition can be taken care by a scheduler. autosys or control M or some other scheduler. You can talk, you can say that. But when I'm trying to design my job at that time, when I'm trying to do my unit testing, right? Can I ask my control M fellow mates or my, because generally control M and autosys scheduler team is a different team in a data stage in a project. That used to be a different team completely. So I cannot go back and ask my fellow autosys or control M team people that, okay, can you create a job with this kind of control structure for me in a control M? I cannot ask them because they are already busy with their activities, and I have to do my unit testing. So I have to execute them one by one manually, implementing those scenarios and all. Instead, you can use the sequencer job, implement the conditions, and then execute the sequencer job. That will take care of all the dependencies. So we'll talk about sequencer jobs in detail, right? How we have to do all these activities in data sequences, right? We'll also learn about runtime column propagation. This is an advanced feature in Datastage which helps Datastage to create generic jobs, right? And it also helps, like I was just talking about, if a column structure in database gets modified, right? You have to go back into each and every job to modify the jobs where this table is being used. If you enable runtime column propagation, Datastage will take care of this issue automatically. That's the beauty. So we'll talk about this runtime column propagation. We'll see how runtime column propagation is actually going to enhance is helping me in creating the generic jobs. And we will also learn how enabling RCP will handle these kind of issues, wherein the column structure of a table gets changed or stuff like that, right? Thereafter, I have just mentioned it as a point, like we'll be learning about performance tuning and designing standards. But you saw, I already spoke about designing standards in the previous while I was trying to talk about. We discussed that during the session itself, while we are trying to learn the different attributes at different stages, there itself we'll try to learn things in such a way that the designing standards are followed. If your design standards are followed, right, the basic foundation is built on a particular standard. So obviously tomorrow you will not get any issue, because by default you will be using the same standards to design a data structure, right? And obviously, when you are trying to learn in the same pattern, when you are trying to learn stages, different stages, right? So we will try to learn in such a way that whenever you design a job on those stages, you will design it in the best performance way. You will not design a data set job which will not have a good performance, because each stage we'll talk about, okay, if you do it this way, the performance will get hampered. If you do it this way, this is the best method to enhance the performance and to proceed with the best performance job. So those kind of things I am trying to push them and integrate them while we are talking about different stages. The reason is, if the foundation is on a particular pattern, right, it comes by blood. You will get this information in your blood that, okay, you are not going to commit these mistakes of performance issue or the implementation standard not following and all those while you're trying to design your data state jobs. So that is the only thought process of implementing. Thereafter, we'll be discussing, in this, now, most important part is the moment we cross the partitioning and pipelining concepts in actual training, the moment we cross the partitioning and pipelining, everything from there, all administrator, designer, director, all these attributes that we have talked about, you see, the moment I cross the point 4, everything else is practical. Nothing theory. No theories we are going to talk about there. There are some theories, yes, we have to discuss on that, and thereafter all practicals. So then, during the job design, I will be dividing multiple scenarios, multiple project real-time scenarios into small chunks and trying to implement them using different stages, so that we learn the different options available in stages and how those stages can be used to implement the different project scenarios. Right? So they are linked. We'll try to do that, and then the main key, in this course of duration, I will be designing close to 30-40 data stage job myself. In the training itself, I will design 30 to 40 data stage job, because I have to train you about different stages. So I will design close to 30-40 data stage job, which may have different scenarios, maybe slightly different from the previous one and slightly again different from the second or third one. So we have to proceed in small steps when we're trying to learn the different stages. So we'll design one job on one stage, and then we'll try to make some modification, then some further modification, and so on. We'll try to design so many jobs, right? Additionally, I will give you the scenarios to work on. So I will give you close to 30-40 scenarios to work on. It will be not small scenarios, it will be a little bigger than what I have designed, right?
Yeah.
Moreover, the scenarios, I will be giving you some project related scenarios as well. some data files are there, some data is there, and based on that you have to do some implement some job, some logic that you get in your project. So some such scenarios I will be also giving you. You can go and practice on your own. That's just for enhancing your skills on your hands-on on practice. That's the only intention over there. Now, the software will also be provided. Not to worry about that. Right? Anything you think about, and the training is very much flexible. Means I am very much flexible. If you think okay something that you should know, or something that is required in your project or in the company that you're going for an interview and stuff like that, you can let me know. If you're not covering that, I will cover that. If that is not a part of the training plan, I will include it. Because having so 9 years of experience on Datastage has given me flexibility to know each and every component. I know every part of Datastage. That is the reason I'm saying if that is not included, I will include it. Whatever you talk about, whatever you want, we can include it. If suppose that's not a part of the plan, we'll include it. If we are covering it and somehow I miss trying to give that information to you, sometimes it happens while you're trying to talk about so many stages, some stage you can miss it. So in that case, I frequently ask my students like, okay, you go back, look into, try to see if any stage that you want me to discuss or I have missed out in explaining those informations or any stage. I can include that. So, I mean, it's practically a flexible session between me and my students. Everything is decided on us, right? I will even give you the interview questions, everything, the interview questions, software, scenarios, assignments, everything is already available. It has been prepared and it has been uploaded to Google Drive. They are already available. I can give them to you on day one of joining the batch, right? It's as simple as it is. So this is what we are going to train you on, right? Now, if you have now is the time when you can tell me about yourself and your requirement. Wherein, if you have any specific requirement, I can tune the training in your requirement so that you get it the best benefit from the training.
See, the thing is, sorry, your name Suresh, right?
Anshul,
Sorry,
Anshul,
Anshu.
Anshul, yeah.
Hi, Anshu. Uh, see, I have been working in Informatica since couple of years, and the reason why I'm learning data is like I'm looking for to switch to a different company, and I think they have data stage in there. So I might be submitting my resume. So hopefully, if I get shortlisted for the interview, I should be able to give a better response. I'm expecting that interview within a week or two.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's my plan here. First, my goal is to get through that interview, and second goal is to once, inshallah, if once I'm selected, then I would like to be like complete the complete course.
Okay, so what you're trying to say is you want to first clear the interview and
Yeah.
then you want to go for the training.
No, I mean, if with the training we can continue, keep on going the training, but my first goal is to crack the interview, and I would like your advice, suggestions based on your experience, like what should I do?
Well, there are many, I mean, we went around to complete the training in 1 week, I mean, attend the interview in a week or two. There are two ways that we can do it, right? Best way is you attend the training on a fast track. We may have 2 to 3 hours a day, right? And we'll complete the training before time so that you will get everything in your brain. At least, I'm not saying that 100% you will absorb it, but you will not be a new fresher or a new person to data stage, right?
Hmm.
Second is I will give you interview questions. Go through the interview questions. If you have any doubt, I can give you some. I mean, you can have a separate discussion with me. Not apart from the training, you can have a separate discussion with me, wherein we can talk about what are the different questions that they generally ask. So I will give you some questions on the component that we have already discussed. We might have discussed. So on that component, I can give you the training. If suppose you want more, I mean, you're not satisfied with this, and the training is you're not able to the training cannot get completed in a week or so, and you have plenty of time, but because of some issues, some constraints, you cannot complete the training. Right? It happens. I will give you previous sessions recordings. You can go through, so that way you will get the training through the recordings as well, previous session recording. Additionally, that's a bonus part for you. right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go through the recordings, learn the concepts, learn the stuff. If you have any doubt, you can call me, we can talk.
Okay, perfect. And how about the software?
I told you, I'm giving you the software. It's a 19 GB software. Everything is done. You don't have to do anything. You just have to
VMware?
drop the, yes, it's a virtual machine. The reason I'm giving you virtual machine is very pretty simple. Datastage is a
Yep.
software. When you try to play around with Datastage, right, it will crash your operating system.
Okay.
I've been through it, I've suffered it, and I'm handling it somehow because now suffering it makes me expert of Datastage. So I'm somehow managing it. But for people who are just going to learn Datastage, if in order to work on Datastage, your system gets crashed, then you are in ground zero again. You cannot, everything else along with Datastage is gone. That is the reason I chose this option of giving a virtual machine, right?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
then, and whatever will happen, it will happen to your virtual machine, right?
Right,
The
right, right,
best
right.
part.
I'm perfectly fine with the virtual machine part. But virtual machine has the latest version or
It has 9.1 version. Latest version is 11.3. That is the latest version, which is one version above. Okay, and
just
it's
one
like,
version?
yeah, it's just one version, and it's like Windows. So what happens in Windows when you get updates? So normally some patches comes up and gets updated. In the same way,
Mm-hmm.
what IBM has done is some couple of stages they have added in 11.3, saying that this is new version. And basically, the best part of 11.3, why people are going for that, and slowly even I will have 11.3, is uh, the big data stage that they have. They have a stage for Hadoop implementation. If that's pretty simple. If you learn the other stages, you will see in data stage that learning a couple of stage, right, will bring you in a situation wherein you will understand, you will get the basic idea about how it goes. Informatica also. I had when I started my career, I was trained on Informatica. The entire ETL concept I learned from Informatica. I mean, doing my hands-on on Informatica. And when I started my career in data stage, because it happens, right? When you are a fresher, they will train you on something, they will put you on something else. Similar thing happened to me. They put me on data stage, and I had to remap everything, all the concepts that I have learned in the Informatica on data stage, and that way I learned data stage. So I pretty much know that Informatica baseline is also the same. I mean, everything is in a sync process. You learn a couple of stages. Remaining stages will become easier for you to understand or grasp, okay, what it is trying to do, right? Similarly, data stage is also there,
Yeah.
right?
So
And
how? Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
and
Sorry.
what I was saying is, I'm not to worry about the interview. May not be. See, I'm not giving you a heads up like within 2 weeks you'll be able to crack it, right? Because that is something that you have to give you a commitment. But yes, once the training gets completed, I mean, I'm just not saying on the timing right now, I'm saying about the training, because once the training gets completed, you have spent some time from your end practicing what we have discussed and listening to the recordings and asking the questions and all that, doing assignments, right? And going through the interview questions. I'm pretty much sure that you will be able to crack interview showing your experience as 5 years of data stage experience. Because people with 5, 6 years or 7 years of experience, they have showcased 5, 6 or 7 years of experience and they got job offer with my training. That is the confidence that I have.
Okay.
So for sure you will get it, right? Yeah. The only thing is, if you want to, I mean, if you want tell you to learn data stage and crack an interview in a week or two, you will have to put a lot of effort and a lot of time on this. Practically, it's not impossible, but you have to put in more time. That's the only fact.
Okay. Okay. So
So
you mean within 2 weeks time? You mean, right?
yeah, within 2 weeks time, and because you're
And
saying that
what?
within two, yeah,
What
go
about
ahead.
the schedule?
So when are you comfortable for the training? In the morning or in the evening? Can we have it in the evening IST timing?
Evening IST. Like what time?
Maybe 9:30 to an hour or two
9:30.
p.m. IST.
Oh no.
I'm just
Right now it is 11:30, right?
it's yeah. So maybe 2 hours before.
No, I'm yeah. Here it is 1 o'clock.
That will be close to 11 or 10:30 for you.
Yeah, so, but no, that time will be the office timing.
Okay, so how about in the morning? I mean, my morning time, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, your time would be like 8:30 here, right? Yeah, the schedule, that's the problem here. Uh,
8:30 should be fine, right? You'll be able to come back home and attend the class because people used to attend in the morning with me. So 8:30, I don't think there should be an issue.
yeah, but
Are
the
you in New York or
thing,
Chicago region?
sorry?
I mean, are you in New York, Chicago region or somewhere there
No,
like
I'm
that
I'm in
place?
Texas. I'm in Texas, but the thing is I mean, I have other things like it's Ramadan going on, so I'm kind of busy with that as well.
What is going on? Come again?
Ramadan, Ramadan.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, I understand, I completely understand.
So I would be free,
Yeah, tell me.
but like maybe 11:30 my time. That is like 10 o'clock your time. I think that's not, is that 10 a.m.
Because 10 a.m. will be my office time.
Yeah, yeah, this time I know. Not. Or early, like 5:30 p.m.
I am fine with 5:30 p.m.
Sorry?
Yeah, I am okay with 5:30 p.m.
Okay. In the evening at the earliest, when can you start?
Uh, I mean, I'm available in the evening, so it's not like there is no specific time. We can talk about like 5:36 is fine for me in the evening. I can come back.
Okay. No, what I was thinking is like 4:30 will work because I have to be awake at 6. So
Will you be able to get up at 6 and 4:30 p.m. My timing will be too early for you, right?
no, I will be up actually.
Then I have no issues. I can have the training. That's not a problem.
Okay. So how, I mean, how do you suggest like the crash course like thing like that, or like we'll go with the regular pace and focus on interview, or how would you recommend?
Um, See, to be frank, if you ask me, if I would have been at your position, so you are trying, I understand that you are trying to change the company, but you are still working for some company, right? You have not resigned.
Yeah, yeah, I'm still working.
Yeah. So then, I will suggest that don't hurry right now. Right? Go through the training.
Okay.
Okay. Attend the training, learn the stuffs. Maybe it may take close to 2 weeks. That's it. On normal pace. If you are ready for 7 days a week, it will take close to 2 weeks. Right?
Okay.
So within 2 weeks you'll be able to, and you have to spend time from your end. 2 weeks you'll be able to learn the stuff. Then you can start, showcasing your resume. You can start putting your resume in the web. So by the time some company recognizes you and comes to you for the interview, you will be aware about all those concepts. And in the meantime, of after 2 weeks, you will start preparing on the interview questions and other stuff. So you will be ready for the interview.
Okay.
So what I will suggest is, I know you want to change, and when people want to change, they are very desperate about it. I know my situation also, so I know completely about it. But the only thing is just wait for 2 more weeks, let the training get completed, and thereafter you can start going for the interviews.
I mean, it's not like I want to change it. The thing is, the opportunity, what is
Yeah,
available, I like that. That's the
I
thing.
I completely understand what your point. That see the same situation happened with me and everybody, right? So
Mm-hmm.
based on that only, I'm just trying to explain.
How? So it would be similar, right? Data stage will be similar to Informatica, right? You will have all those
Yeah,
transformations.
exactly. It will be. I mean, I told you right. I learned Informatica is comparing with Informatica. So obviously, I know it's pretty much similar. You will be able to grasp it quickly, but there may be some options. See, remembering the options, you are switching from Informatica to data stage. But the
Right, right.
interviewer will not know that you are switching from Informatica to data stage. His questions will be straightforward, and you have to answer spontaneously, right? You cannot think, okay, I have to compare. In your mind, you cannot start thinking, okay, let's compare. So this is how it was we had in Informatica, and this is how we had in Datastage. So this is the answer that it is. It should be little spontaneous, right? So those
Yeah.
kind of, and when you're trying to showcase some experience, obviously they have this expectation from you. So just that is the only concern. I know you will be, and you will be able to clear it. That's not a problem. Even if you're trying to, if you're pushing for less than 2 weeks, the amount of time that you have to spend will just increase. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you mean that we can have like good grasp on this subject within 2 weeks time, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure. See, it depends from trainer to trainer as well. What normally people does is, and one of my student, he keeps me complaining about it. He has already attended a training a couple of months back, 5 to 6 months back with some trainer, and that trainer did not even inform him about runtime, column propagation, general job, multi-instance, many other concepts in data structure he did not explain. While I'm trying to explain him the same thing, he again joined me now, and while I'm trying to explain him these things, he's trying to say, okay, I did not heard about these objects before. And that is the reason when I was going for an interview, I was not getting shortlisted. So
Mm-hmm.
it depends from trainer to trainer how they are training you. And I'm giving you information from my experience because the way I train you, I try to put everything, my knowledge, entire experience during in the training so that whatever you guys learn, you will learn it to the fullest. And if you're able to grasp them, you will get the video recordings though. So if you're able to grasp them, probably you will definitely be able to crack the interview. That's for sure. So many of my students have already cracked, so I'm sure about it.
Mm-hmm.
Both in
So
US, UK, Canada, and India, all the four places.
okay, very nice. Yeah. So I mean, comparatively, like I mean, it's almost the same. Like you might have the designer part, the workflow manager part, and the monitor part,
No,
right?
no, we do not have anything like workflow manager here, like you had in Informatica.
Mm-hmm.
So in Informatica, you go in designer, you design your job, then you go to workflow manager or something, and then you execute your job from there,
Mm-hmm.
right? In Datastage, you can do everything from the same place.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, they are stuff to learn. It's not that you can directly map one to one and say, okay, if I know Informatica, I know Datastage, right?
Mm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But you will learn Datastage, that's for sure. If at all
So
you're joining training.
in comparison, what's the difference between data science and Informatica if you were asked to like
See, to be frank, all the skills that you have in Informatica, see, it's a competitive market, right? So whatever Informatica comes up, Datastage tries to create the same, and whatever Datastage comes up, Informatica tries to create the same. Both of them are I mean, both of them are giving a competition to each other. I mean, if one is the I mean, is the leading in ETL, second one is and the other one is is a runner-up, and vice versa. It keeps happening. So there's nothing like kind of difference or something. It's just that the performance and the usability, the easy whichever tool is easy, that is the one which more attracts the people. And I feel personally, compared to Informatica, data is much more easy.
oh easier? You mean with the tool wise?
Yes, yes, it's much
Yeah,
more
because
easier. Options much more. It has much less options. I mean, much advanced options. Many options are there, but selecting them and processing them is very much easy. So
oh
that's
yeah,
why
Informatica has a
that's why
lot of options. Yeah, yeah, it's so little complicated in sometimes.
yeah. Sometimes it happens when you go for days update, insert, delete, and all those. So there itself there are so many constraints, so many options are there. You do not have
Mm-hmm.
anything here. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was trying to learn. Why the reason I'm talking about this update insert is this. When I was trying to learn this, it was giving me pain. I think it is in lookup, update lookup or something. So it was
Yeah,
giving me
look.
pain at that time to try to understand all this option.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
I learned
lookup
it
is little
practically.
critical.
Here lookup is very easy.
Oh really? Okay. Nice.
And you will be able to learn. See, after so much of experience or so many training classes, I have designed the course and I'm talking about things in such a way that you will learn things in an easier pattern rather than making things complex. Right? So
Okay.
the best optimal path I have designed. Okay, we'll talk about this, we'll talk about this, we'll talk about this, we'll train you on this and this and this. And that is the reason you see the entire admin activities is the first step that we are trying to learn. We are not going ahead and learning the data sheet developer part. You can say I can go ahead and learn the data sheet designer and just try to learn how the data sheet job has to be designed. I'm not going to do that. Because if you don't know the architecture, if you don't know what is partitioning, pipelining, how the jobs are getting executed in the background, you will not know, you will not get the basic feel. Then when you're trying to design your job, your thought process will be in the same blunt way. But when you know these options, you will know how the execution is happening in the background. You will think in a way wherein you will design the job with the best optimization.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is the reason we are talking about the architecture first and all other admin activities first and then the design will come.
Okay.
Right? So not see only at present I can only assure you, right? After training only you will be the one who will come back and say okay I learned everything and all that. But at present I can just say have confidence.
Right, right, right. No, no, no. I get the feeling. I understand, like, based on your experience, and you can understand. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Thank you very much, Anshu. I'll get back to you.
So, okay, so can I assume you're joining
Yeah,
or
but
you
yeah,
have any
yeah.
doubt?
No, 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 no. But I would like to join. But when can we start, Anshu?
From Monday if you want,
How
because
about? Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Because.
then tomorrow and day after is Saturday and Sunday, so let's start from Monday. And then probably
Okay.
because thereafter even on the Saturdays and next Saturday Sunday probably we can include it. And if you are available on the weekends, I can have extra time. I mean, I can extend the number of hours.
No weekends. Okay. Yeah, weekends. Yeah, we can use the weekends.
Yeah. So I can extend the number of hours, which will help you get complete the course at a faster pace.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
So
Thank you.
just let them. I mean, let them know so that they will come back to me and we can plan on the timing from Monday. We can start the class from Monday itself.
So yeah. Okay. So at the earliest we can start on Monday, right?
See, I can start tomorrow as well, but I'm just saying that okay, if at all we are supposed to start a batch, let's take some time. We also take a breather because after that 2 weeks, it's like a fast track. Two
Yeah.
hours per day, and on the weekend 4 hours or 5 hours if you're available. Just imagine I'm on the fast track already because I want to come. I want to make it happen as per your requirement,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So
So what
that is
timing
the
we
point.
can finalize? You said
See,
morning.
I am available from, I mean, if you want my timing, morning time 7 to 9, I'm available. I can have a class. Okay.
Yeah, but
At night I'm available, my timing. In
evening.
afternoon also, yeah, in evening also after, if you're saying 4:35, yeah, 4:35 I should be available.
Okay.
And on top of this, once you join the class, I will give you my WhatsApp number. So then you can directly communicate with me saying, okay, if there's any issue or anything, you can drop me a message on WhatsApp.
Sure. 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 Okay. Perfect.
So everything is I mean everything will be in sync, not to worry on that.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Anshu.
Okay. Thank you, Smile. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.